Aditya, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Aditya. I'm born and brought up in Trivandrum, Kerala. I've done my UG in BTech, Electronics Engineering. I have appeared for CAT last year. I got 99.3 percentile. This year, I got 99.77.
I'm Aryan Choudhary. I was born and brought up in Bombay. I come from a military family. Post my 12th, I have been in Delhi College of Engineering as a computer science engineering student. This year, in the final year of my college, in 2.5 months of preparation, I appeared for CAT and I scored a 99.89 percentile.
So just for 2.5 months of preparation and you scored 99.89, that is really impressive. So what was your preparation strategy, and how did you do your mocks and do the analysis, and how did you perform well in the CAT exam?
So basically, though CAT is a competitive exam, the beauty of this exam is that it is at the end just an aptitude exam. It is testing your knowledge base. So I'm a reader. I read quite a lot. I read like crazy. So for VARC, it is about comprehension. So I think I could comprehend the passages well. So VARC was sorted. Quants being an engineer, and I have been decently good in maths, and with Maruti sir's video solutions, tricks and all. The speed was a problem, which with mocks I managed. DILR section was a weak point for me. Because it needs a longer period of practice rather than last minute. It's not pure aptitude. It is also a lot about practice. I used to struggle there in mocks, but God was kind. On the day, DILR also worked out well. My primary strategy was not to focus on the content directly per se. I was crazy about mocks. At the one stretch of my preparation, I have given mocks daily, which is what people don't recommend. And in addition to that, I used to give one mock and two sectionals together to build my stamina. So towards the end of my preparation, I've also given two mocks at a go. So at the day of the exam, once the quant section was over, I feel very relieved कि यार अभी तो शुरू हुआ है. So that was my primary strategy: mocks, mocks, and mocks, and very deep analysis. Every subtopic, every question, how much time is it taking? That is why.
So how many mocks you have given in that 2.5 months of preparation?
Close to 50. As I said, sometimes even 2 a day in one sitting.
Yeah. What about you, Aditya?
So I started my preparation last year, and I started early around March, April. Around early that I started preparation. So initially, I had a confidence in maths because I knew the syllabus was around 10th grade syllabus, and I had good marks in 10th. So I thought it's going to be easy. But getting up my basics correct took some time. And my most weakest section was VARC. I was struggling VARC. Last year, but I prepared quite good amount of time, and I was pretty confident. But on that day, I think I messed up. I was really tensed on the exam day. Even after VRC went good, but after I get stuck in the DLR section, it was all over at that time. Then next year, I haven't started preparation that early, and I understood that number of mocks in a way is not the actual factor about how good you score. Because during the first time, I took more than 50-60 mocks, and I was really confident that I could score 99, but it didn't went well. So for the next year, this year, my strategy was not full on mocks. I calmed down on my preparation journey. I started late, pretty late. I know I had the basics there, but I had to build the confidence for VARC. So I started watching Cracku videos and took the mock test. And I heard one piece of advice that both the mentors gave, that attend all questions on VARC. So at first I was like, it's not a good advice because you will get negative marks and all. But when I started with that, I started working on the mocks with that advice, I get the sense of that advice, the accuracy that one will have, and how it's going to affect the attending whole will affect their marks. I get the point, and I felt pretty confident about it. So that was a main factor that Cracku had brought in me the scores in VARC. And the quant and DLR one, I was confident, but the score still, I was confident myself, but the 99 mark was, I thought it was out of reach. But there was a couple of videos from Maruti sir where he have talked about his insecurities and how he had struggled. That made me feel that he is human and we feels connected. And I thought that it was possible for me to get there. And after one point, yes, I felt confidence while taking the test. On the D-Day also, I was confident getting into the exam center. Yes, so boosting my confidence and the VRC scores Cracku had helped me a lot.
Just in addition to that, one thing that comes out common between the two of us, even if he has appeared for the exam last year, CAT is an exam of momentum. You have to go towards the exam day with a very high momentum. In my case, I had my end semester exams just in the week of CAT. So, the last mock that I gave was 3 days before CAT, and I just had a score of 46 there because I was completely out of touch in that 1 week. So I think that is one very important thing about CAT. It's not about the number of months you prepare, but the momentum you have before the exam day. And secondly, talking about Maruti sir, academically, a lot of people can do very well. It's not a very tough exam like JEE Advanced or something. But his aura, I think he's a very spiritual person as well. The way he talks, the way he conveys, he has this one video on his insecurities and failures back from IT Bombay days. I think that is something that, makes a connect. Today when I saw him and I heard his voice, it felt like, oh, yahi hai, insaan hai. So his aura is very raw, and that is what touches our hearts quite a lot.
So you also mentioned that you prepared last year and you did not perform very well because of VRC. What was the strategy? You told about that you attempted all the 24 questions. Apart from that, what extra did you do for the VRC section that helped you a lot?
So last year, my main problem was when I tried to attempt more, when I tried to increase speed, my accuracy decreases. So last year, my strategy was 3 RCs and rest VAs, because I thought reading, skimming through an RC is not the right approach, and understanding the RC was the point. I get that last year, but so I did 3 RCs last year. And last year itself, around starting the preparation, I started reading books. And I really like that I started reading books. I'm still continuing that. So my fear of reducing accuracy, and that's why I just skipped one RC. Then this year I understood that skipping one RC was a big mistake. Should complete our RCs. So I continue reading books. For a first few started with this strategy. For the first few marks, I didn't care about the marks. I thought I'll just go with this method for at least 2-3 marks. And by the second and third mark, I naturally increased the speed to read, and I was able to attempt almost all questions. I also on the my strategy, I didn't include the para summaries, because I thought the time invested on one question for reading the summary and the answer was not worth it. So I skipped the 2 questions. Rest all questions I used to do in the mock sets also and on the D-Day.
So what was your mock analysis strategy? Can you share your mock analysis, how you used to do mock analysis?
So firstly, I used to take a lot of time in analyzing the mock. Sometimes it was upwards of 5-6 hours as well. So what I used to do was that rather than just looking at what went wrong and what went right, I used to pen down everything in an Excel sheet. Even the smallest of the things like quants. It is not about a question takes 7 minutes. I'll identify exactly which question took more than 2 minutes, what was the chapter. And what I analyzed was that though every mock test had different set of chapters, once I was upwards of 15 mocks, I saw a very clear pattern of which are the chapters jinke question take a lot of time. That pattern I would not have identified if I had not written it down on the Excel sheet. So say in geometry, in profit and loss. In geometry, I have taken wild guesses in the exam. I used to just think measurement itna hai, 2 option eliminate hote the, and I used to take it. And it worked for me. In VARC again, which type of passage is taking more time? So I used to go very micro about it. In DILR, I think we only need to get 2 sets right to get a 99 percentile. For me, I used to identify that what is the point when I have to leave a set. So for these 3 sections, these 3 method of analysis worked for me.
For me, I was pretty good at maths. So while doing a mock, all questions I feel that I can do it. But some will be a trap. Some will take more time. So I made an Excel sheet pointing at that, which were the topics that are actually giving me marks. I may know the topic, may know the content or the theory behind it, but I kept note of which chapters give me the marks. So I kept working on that, and that has so that made me realize that arithmetic is in a way giving me marks. So I started prioritizing arithmetic more at that point. Then for DLR, I will just check if the set I had chosen was correct. Even if I get it wrong, I'll just concentrate on if I chose the right set. So that was the main point. VRC, I don't think I have pretty much like that well in analyzing it. I'll just note what was the main issue with the options that I chosen and what is the difference between that and the correct one.
Okay. So how many questions you used to solve every day for practice?
Practice for VRC, most probably I'll take one sectional if it's possible, or two RCs. I'll for till November I just solved all daily targets. In the morning I'll just solve daily targets. Then maths, I'll take two sectionals about on maths and DLR or any combination. Yeah, two sectionals, and mocks most probably twice a week. And around November I stopped with daily targets because it starts affecting me, because sometimes daily targets you won't get. So it starts affecting me. I stopped daily targets, and I followed again Maruti Sir's advice that solve maximum number of problems. So November what I did was doing marathons. I have watched almost all marathon sessions that Cracku put out, and it's free on YouTube. It's really crazy that much good content is free on YouTube.
So this year we had a lot of YouTube session from Maruti sir and Sally ma'am towards the end of the November before the CAT exam. So it really helped Aditya. So yeah, what about you, Aryan?
For me, when it comes to practice in a conventional sense, it was only for the first 7 to 10 days of my exam preparation. Basically, what I did was that every PYQ, chapter-wise, I picked up and solved it. And again, I did that from the compilations that you have on your website. Again, it is also very beautifully designed. It has questions that you can practice and then solutions from Maruti sir and Saili ma'am. Post that, it was again, my practice was entirely mock driven. So as I said, 2 mocks a day, uske baad time bhi nahi bachta. So even 2 mocks a day is like 40 question in quants, 10 DILR sets. So it is crazy amount of practice. So mocks suffice for me for the practice point of view.
Okay, so for you, I think mocks were the most important things that you use for preparation and analysis.
It was because the nature of my preparation was such that in a last stage, the best thing that I could do was go and kill the mocks.
Okay. So any advice you would like to tell to people who are giving the CAT 2026? People who can start now, they have a lot of time. So what advice would you give them?
I think the main advice would be confident. That like don't be scared of that 99-point mark. You can achieve it. Be confident about it. The rest schedule and all, everyone will follow. I will be a track after some point. I think confidence is the key, and not being afraid of that 99-point mark is the key.
Yeah. My message would be that CAT again is a competitive exam, but it's an aptitude exam. So if you have a plan of going for an MBA, please try to build your aptitude rather than just preparing for CAT. Read a lot, read on varied topics. Firstly and secondly, as he said, take a leap of faith. You know, talking about my story, I entered into the CAT journey because I was into something else and I faced some mental health problems. I had to pivot back here. So nobody told me that as a gem fresher, I have to score that high. I was unaware. So being unaware helped me. I just went there and I did my best. So take a leap of faith firstly, and secondly, focus on building your aptitude rather than just preparing for this exam.
And what are your plans in college? Like if after going to the V school, what are your plans? Have you thought about anything specific that what you will do in your college life?
So as of now, most of my peers are engineers. Almost 90% of my contacts will be engineers. So I'm hoping the B school atmosphere will be different, and I will get to meet with people with all kinds of background. I think that's a really good positive of B school. I think of connecting more with them. And I have been interested about the case competitions, need to learn more about case competitions. Then explore the B school world, yes.
Something similar to him. I am also a person who likes to read and gain knowledge about a lot of things. I read on geopolitics, spirituality, history, politics, everything. So, you know, in a B school, again, firstly, I would get an opportunity to expand my knowledge base, meet new types of peers. And, you know, industries like, say, consulting. you're going very deep into one particular industry. So I'm again trying to upgrade my knowledge base, gain more knowledge, not thinking a lot long term.
Okay, so that was really a good conversation that we had, and wish you very good luck for the future.